Way, of course, to skip the crowds, not that there are many behind Phil at Chicago Airport, if you can afford it, is to fly private. JetIt, which runs a fleet of 6-person aircraft, says it's seen dramatic increase in travel requests just this week. Let's bring in Glenn Gonzales, founder and CEO of JetIt. Glenn, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. So is your spike in demand just this holiday week, or has it been throughout the last few months and the pandemic?
Yeah, Wilfred, happy Thanksgiving to you and Leslie and Sarah as well. Just wanted to say that to start off. When we began the pandemic, we were starting out, we came almost to a grinding halt where we were doing just a couple of flights a week. By May, we were doing 40 flights a week, and now we're up to 100 flights a week. In large part, people have their rituals. They've got a plan for how they're going to see their families. And because they're flying with just their family members, just their friends, they can have a little more control over the pandemic and the potential risk of the pandemic. And they've got a ritual for we're testing 2 weeks prior, then we'll test the day or two before, and they know that they're flying in a safe environment with us.
6 people, Glenn, I presume it's not hugely spacious. Is the possibility of spread between those 6 relatively high, higher than if you're on a commercial plane?
Absolutely. In fact, I would say it's far more comfortable than a commercial aircraft, even more comfortable than a first-class seat. What's surprising about the Honda Jet is the amount of space that you have in the cabin. I've had individuals 6'7" sitting across from me. Our feet don't touch, our knees don't overlap, and I'm 6 feet tall as well. So it's incredibly spacious. Everyone has their own personal space. You can articulate the seats and recline them as it works best for you. And then, of course, it's a fast aircraft. You can go directly to your destination. You're not dealing with waiting lines or having to get your bags. You show up to the airport, you fly away in 5 minutes, and then from there when you land, we make sure that there's a car service or a rental car if that's what you want. We make sure it's there for you. It doesn't make sense to fly across the country or from one city to the next and then have to wait for an Uber or wait for your transportation. So efficiency is what we're about, and that's just one of the many things that we provide.
Well, speaking of efficiency, Glenn, how have you been ramping up to meet that demand? Did you already have the jets just waiting? Have you had to purchase more? What's the lead time for that? Have you been able to meet this surge in demand during the holidays?
Yeah, we planned for this growth. We started out with a fleet of airplanes that we ordered from Honda well prior to the pandemic, anticipating this growth. We anticipated our staffing needs. Since the month of July, we've added 28 people to our roster. So we're very excited to grow and increase the talent amongst our team. And we put the processes in place first. We knew that as an aviator, my co-founder Gonzales and I, we understood that we have to set our operations in place first, and then we can focus on our marketing and our growth and expansion. So those processes are in place, and we've been executing upon what we outlined prior to now.
Glenn, does the pressure that commercial airlines are facing create opportunities for you, not just in terms of broad demand, but landing slots at some airports that maybe you haven't been using so far?
Somewhat. It definitely makes it easier to get in and out of the major and larger airports. We've flown into Hartsfield. We've flown into Newark. We've flown into JFK. And we can always do those things, but sometimes you're waiting in line, whether it's taxiing out behind the train of United or Delta flights, and it takes time in those cases. But the ease of getting in and out of those airports is definitely more efficient. But more times than not, there are only 5% of the airports are utilized by the airlines. 95% of the airports are typically closer to your home, and we help you find out what that airport is. And when you're flying for only $1,600 an hour and you have the entire jet available to you, it only makes sense to, again, save that time, save that cost, and make your travel destination.
Wow. I love how you said only $1,600 an hour, but I take your point. Glenn Gonzales, thank you for joining us.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.